Welcome to Alphabet Fly, Encyclopedic Marvel Journey, where I go through the official handbook of the Marvel Universe with guests. We talk about all the characters we know and love and forgotten as well. My name is Jesse Cooper, and with me today is a person who is just a real good federal agent. Jess.
Nice.
So, today we're talking about Gabe Jones.
Right. That's a name.
But
Just
Gabe Jones. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but this is what he looks like.
Oh, that is not what I expected.
African-American. He's an African-American fellow.
Okay.
Who is jacked and holds a gun.
What the hell? Okay. Yeah. I was thinking because, agent, I was thinking like a suit or something.
No.
That's a different vibe.
Yeah. Well, his real name is Gabriel Jones.
Okay.
He's a former jazz trumpet player, former soldier, now Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
His identity is publicly known. He is a citizen of the United States with no criminal record. His other alias is Number 9 of the Secret Empire. His place of birth was in New York City. His marital status is unrevealed. We do know that he has an uncle, presumably now deceased. And he was a former member of the Howling Commandos and now agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And first appeared in Sergeant Fury's in his Howling Commandos issue number 1 in May 1963, 7 against the Nazis.
Okay.
Yeah. There is Cover Piece Theater. Cover Piece Theater. So, to set the scene, which we've done this multiple times, we have 7 people on this cover. One of them is just running in the background, and you can only see them between the legs of a person, but there is 7 people on this cover. And you have Dum Dum Dugan throwing a grenade, another person about to throw a grenade, a person seemingly shooting the ground, Sergeant Fury seemingly shooting the ground.
Fuck the ground!
And we have a lot of good cover copy of this as well. Think you've read war stories before. Mister, wait till you see what's in store for you here. It's only the greatest.
Wow.
And
bold claims. Bold claim.
It is 7 against Nazis, a big one from the talented team that brings you the famous Fantastic Four.
I do like on the side, it's just like characters. Adolf Hitler, Dum Dum Dugan. Just the list. So Gabe's not on the cover. Poor Gabe.
And we have Nick Fury saying,
"Keep moving, you lunkheads. Nobody lives forever. So get the lead out and follow me. We got us a war to win."
Get the lead out. Get the lead out. Yeah. But yeah, we've talked about this cover a lot. There's a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. people.
Yeah, sorry, lead makes so people. Much more sense than
yeah.
Clearly not in the zone for war. So get the lead out.
Well, get the lead out also could. He could have put a lead around them and then pull them around.
I'm sorry. Okay. Oh,
so
I love Dum Dum Dugan's energy though. That's what I'm here for. I was concentrating.
He was British at this point.
Right.
He wasn't in the future. He was retconned as not British.
As you
because get this, there's no commandos in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the Marines for us.
Right.
So a lot of these people were just British.
Yeah.
And they're working for the British government.
We have Navy?
Well, and almost every country has a navy. You might have commandos because that's what the British have. Also, Australia isn't known for its long war record anyway.
Okay, commando.
Yeah.
Yes. Australian defense jobs. Not going to apply for that one.
Yeah. We'll probably have to beat up some poor people who on Christmas Island or something for some reason. So Gabriel Jones grew up in New York City and won acclaim at an early age as a jazz trumpet player. Jones was coached in the trumpet and trumpet playing by the legendary Louis Armstrong himself.
What?
Jones's uncle Bill owned the nightclub in Manhattan, and presumably Gabe played in the band there, which would have been real hard because he's not white.
Yeah.
And clubs were segregated. I doubt that they're going to bring that up in this. But, you know. Jones eventually entered the army under circumstances that have not yet been recorded. His skill and bravery as a soldier came to the attention of Colonel Sam Sawyer in G2 Army Intelligence, who were organizing a special commando unit that became known as Howling Commandos, led by Sergeant Fury. Jones was selected to become a member of the Howling Commandos and served with them throughout World War II. Apparently, Sawyer was ahead of his time with his attitude towards race, and other army units were not integrated during World War II. Hence, it was highly unusual for Jones, a black man, to be assigned in the Howling Commandos, which was otherwise composed of entirely white men.
Right.
Yes, so they brought that part up, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably to bridge the gap, being like, wait.
We had to do something to address it somehow.
Yeah. Jones re-enlisted with the army after the outbreak of the Korean War and was assigned to the unit of Howling Commandos. Jones served the Howlers again as a civilian for special missions during Vietnam in the 60s. It is not known what Jones did during the years following World War II, or when he was neither involved with the Howling Commandos or some law enforcement and intelligence agencies' SHIELD. Presumably, he continued his career as a jazz musician. It is also not known how Jones came to join SHIELD, but presumably he did so after his former sergeant, Nick Fury, was made public director. Jones became one of Fury's closest aides, assisting him in running the entire organization and acting as operative on major missions. Jones' most celebrated solo assignment was his infiltration of the first subversive organization known as the Secret Empire, which he succeeded in defeating from within.
Right.
At one point in recent years, Jones was engaged to marry Clara Williams, who he met during World War II, when she was performing as a nightclub singer under the name of Clara Swain. Jones was assigned to rescue her for Nazi-occupied Paris. He and the Howlers saved her life from a Nazi officer. For a time, Jones was also romantically involved with Peggy Carter, a former member of the French resistance. That would have been actually pretty progressive at the time.
Yeah, so what time period for the comics?
Probably 60s.
Yeah.
Probably 60s.
Yeah.
Maybe 70s. So, it is not known whether Jones ever married either of these women or if anyone else. At the present, however, Peggy Carter is unmarried. Jones is one of the few high-ranking SHIELD agents who was not killed and replaced by one of the artificially created humans beings called the Delties. Even after the Delty leader had Nick Fury declared to be a traitor to SHIELD, he remained loyal to Fury, and Fury and the others defeated the Delties, and Fury persuaded the United Nations to disband SHIELD. Jones was one of the agents who accompanied Fury throughout the world in closing down SHIELD offices and discharging their remaining personnel and destroying SHIELD's more dangerous technologies. Since then, he became a member of a new, more efficient SHIELD organization that Fury founded to take place of his predecessor. So, he is 6'2", weighs 225 pounds, brown eyes, and now white hair. He used to have black hair. He does a lot of regular exercise, and he's good at hand-to-hand combat.
He's a big guy.
He's also an excellent marksman with a rifle. He also has considerable knowledge of commando tactics, highly skilled in espionage and infiltration of enemy organizations, and he's unequaled as a jazz trumpeter.
Sure, that comes in handy.
Well, sometimes you need to jazz it up a little bit.
I always think it'd be terrifying to be one of these, like, normal people in the Marvel Universe and be doing battles and stuff.
I mean, all of them are Olympic level somethings.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, so quote-unquote unnormal, but, like, say, even if you're, like, an Olympian versus, like, Thor. So I haven't actually watched it, but he's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah.
Nothing really to write home about, though.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, so...
Yep. So that's him. So
Yeah.
do you have anything to say about him?
I mean, I don't have anything crazy to say, but, like, I mean, it's always really interesting to go back and I think and look at media that was created in sort of segregation era stuff and their portrayal of people of color. But, like, it feels like it should have come up more than it did from what you read.
It actually did come up a decent amount in Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
As much as a lot of the writers at the time were white liberals, they did kind of care at least a little bit of representation, even if it was bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, things like Marvel, I guess, have been more progressive than a lot of other media out there. But, yeah, I just think it's interesting to look at stuff that was created then.
Yeah.
How knowledge from now, I guess.
Yeah, back in the, before he even entered World War II, when Captain America was first out in the 40s, like, they basically wrote Captain America as a response to, Hitler's rise of power.
Yeah.
And they legitimately got, like, death threats and had to, like, stay at home. I mean, stay, like, in their offices so they wouldn't get killed.
Yeah. Scary.
Like Jack Kirby and stuff like that. They were very, they did some good stuff, I'll say. Now, is all of this stuff sensitive? No. Like, I'm not going to say that, but they definitely did try. They also really hated communism, which is, a thing. But yeah, we are done, so let's do our plugs.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to plug my YouTube, and I'll be real, I haven't got a whole heap of stuff at the moment. It's mostly just got my podcast and Morty's podcast, Femme Detail, on it. But it's Schlocket Monster, so SCHLOCKET Monster on YouTube. But I do want to do some other media on there sometimes, sometime in the future. So Schlocket Monster on YouTube.
Okay. I am not feeling like doing my plugs right now, so we are just gonna move on to the end part. So this has been Alphabet Flight, and may country protect you through all your travels. Good night.